for the 22-23 school year. That is a huge honor. He has also been awarded the Senior Level 2 at Large Achievement Award, and he will be able to attend the National Congress in Atlanta for his second time. So that's an awesome accomplishment. We also had some THS students attending some band camps this summer. We had Zach Johnson and Naomi Huckabee and Christy Nichols. They participated in summer music leadership at Troy University. Miss Christy Nichols completed the drum major camp. Zach and Naomi competed in concert camp with Miss Huckabee made 12th chair flute, and Mr. Johnson made 3rd chair trumpet. So we're proud of our band students for competing in those opportunities. A staff recognition, I wanted to recognize Mr. Fullington, and he is here tonight. He applied for and was chosen to be a part of the Class Leaders CIL, and CIL stands for Certified Instructional Leader Program. It is an honor to be chosen for that, and it is competitive. Everybody that applies does not get that. Class established this in 2013 to promote the highest standards of instructional leadership, and they credential them, so at the end of all his classes, he'll be credentialed as a certified instructional leader. So Mr. Fullington, congratulations, and we're proud to have you on board. Some additional things that I have. I wanted to update you. You know that we're under the Literacy Act currently for Thomasville Elementary School in grades 1K through 3, and I wanted you to know numbers of the teachers that are completing their training. Currently, we have 1 administrator trained, and that would be Ms. Doggett. We have 4 teachers that have completed their training, and it's a 2-year process. We have Ms. Doggett completed it as a teacher and an admin, and we have Ms. Elam, Ms. Hutto, and Ms. Clardy. They are all done. And then we have 3 that have completed their early childhood. The early childhood is a shorter version, and they tackled theirs and completed theirs in a year. We have Ms. Harrell, Ms. Smith, and Ms. Norton are all trained in letters. We have 11 teachers who are currently working toward their completion with Ms. Westbrook, Cox, Downey, Harrell, O'Brien, Drinkard, Anderson, Martin, Jenkins, Carlisle, and Overstreet. And I'm very proud to say that we have 2 of the ones we just hired are signed up to complete their letters. So our new hires are buying in and getting trained also. The State Department released last week, and y'all maybe heard me yell from Montgomery at my training. Dr. Mackey released a portion of the ACAP. The other scores are embargoed until September. We'll get the full report then, but they pulled out the reading scores because we had summer reading camp, and they released the reading scores because that's what would have retained 3rd graders this year if it had not been delayed to 2024. And Thomasville Elementary School, they were 84% proficient, and that is a significant gain from the years past. I also took the liberty of comparing to schools around us, and we were significantly higher than schools around us. So elementary school, I text every single one of them. They all need to celebrate because they have stayed the course. They're getting letters trained. They're getting a new reading program. There is nowhere to go but up. So I assure you that next year we'll be close to the 90s, and that's wonderful. We conducted a supplement meeting here at the high school. Myself, Mr. Sims, our past AD, head coaches, and we had a board member present, Mr. Williams. And we are ready now. We have a preliminary something to look at, and I am going to schedule a meeting with Mr. Jim Davis and the new AD to look at it for financial purposes, to see what we can afford to changing and making some changes with our coaching supplements, and we're excited about that. So we hope to have that ready for the board to look at in August and have that in place. And one final item, I did want to bring up that we have Teacher Institute on Wednesday, August the 3rd. We will have it at the Civic Center, and we are honored to have the Thomasville Police Department there for a presentation on safety, and then they're going to go out into the schools and conduct some simulation training. So that's what our Institute Day will be about this year. And that concludes my report for this month.
So So, now we'll move on to, new business.
Okay, the first item under new business is our personnel action sheet or personnel matters, and you have a copy of that sheet in your packet. I'm gonna call out the ones that I will ask you or recommend to you for approval. A, we have a resignation. B, employment in new positions. C, we have to rescind some employment that we have approved. D, we have some voluntary transfers. And then E, we have employment in supplemental positions, and I will tell you that those supplements, have not been given yet, but we need to go ahead and approve that they're gonna be helping because some of these are banned. So I'm gonna ask you and recommend to you that you approve letters A, B, C, D, and E.
Okay, so you heard the recommendation from the superintendent, to approve letters A, B, C, D, and E on your personnel action sheet. Can we get a motion?
To move.
Can we get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That vote is carried unanimously.
Okay, letter F, I'm gonna recommend that you approve the team's contracts. There are 5, faculty members listed there. So I'm gonna ask you to approve that one separately.
I have to abstain.
You heard the recommendation from, the superintendent. Can we get a motion to approve letter F under your personnel action sheet?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That vote is carried unanimously. With one abstain.
Okay, so we're on letter B under new business, membership renewal. I'd like to recommend that you approve the AASB, our board membership dues for the 22-23 school year.
You heard the recommendation from the superintendent to approve the board, membership renewal. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That vote is carried unanimously.
Okay, and C, we're down to our parent-student handbook. Before I make my recommendation, is there any additions, deletions, questions? You had a chance to look at that this past month from the board. Okay, if there are none for the board, I have one. We would like to add under the uniform policy on page 49. It was not intentional, but there was one item left off, and I spoke with Mr. Sims, and we would like to make a change under jackets and coats, that the wording would be any jacket or coat. They may wear any jacket or coat with a school logo approved by the school, THS only. So I would like that one added. If there's any questions about that, I could take questions. It was just an oversight. It was supposed to be in there and it didn't get typed in there. So we want to make sure we add it. So if there aren't any questions, I would recommend that we approve the handbook.
So you heard the recommendation, from the superintendent, to approve the parent-student handbook for 2022-2023 school year. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That vote is carried unanimously.
Okay, and we're down to D under new business, physical matters. I'd like to make a recommendation to approve admission passes for the following groups or organizations or individuals to athletic and other school events for the 22-23 school year, and you have a list there of those organizations or individual people and the numbers out beside them.
You heard the recommendation, regarding the fiscal matters, for the 2022-2023 school year. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. The vote is carried unanimously.
Okay, and number 2, under physical matter, I'd like to make a recommendation for you to approve the proposed child nutrition meal prices for the 22-23 school year.
You heard the recommendation under, from the superintendent under fiscal matters, item 2. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. The vote is carried unanimously.
I do have a note, just to give you some information. Ms. Sorton has been ill and she could not be here tonight, but I wrote down what she would like to have said, and she will be here next month if we have any questions. You will see a lot of things on social media that other school systems post about their meal prices, and so sometimes it doesn't say in their post that they're just talking about their school system, and you think it's the whole state of Alabama, and it's not. So she wanted to clarify that we will have universal breakfast for all of our students at Thomasville, and they will be free. However, we do not qualify under the current state and federal regulations and their guidelines for free lunch. So you're gonna see that some of our surrounding counties and cities, they do qualify, but we do not meet those qualifications. We're at a 40% range in the regulations, and you have to be at like 80%. So she didn't want anybody to see those and be confused on why so-and-so county getting free lunch and Thomasville is not. So she'll be here next month if we have further questions, but I know you're gonna start seeing that, but we do not qualify for free lunch, just the universal free breakfast. So now we'll move on to E. Number 1 under E, I'd like to recommend for the board to approve a bid, and you have a copy of that for the fresh fruit and vegetables in your packet from Ms. Thornton.
You heard the recommendation to approve the bid under item 1 for Four Seasons Fresh Produce Incorporation. Can I get a motion?
I so moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That vote is carried unanimously.
Okay, and F, board policy, you had first read of this in last month's meeting. I would like to recommend that you approve the change to the proposed board policy 5.0 under students, the graduation recommendation 5.22, and it was our math requirements.
You heard the recommendation from the superintendent with the change of the board policy that was brought up last board meeting. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That vote is carried unanimously. All right, any questions or comments from board members?
I just would like to thank Ms. Calhoun. I understand she had turned her resignation in, and I'd like to tell her that she has done a great job here at Thomasville City Schools, and we're gonna miss her. She's done a great job. I just want to say thank you. Is she here tonight?
Yes.
Oh,
She got her.
thank
Team of people.
you. And also,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, at the elementary school, do we have a female custodian there?
We currently only have one custodian, and we have one opening.
Okay. Yeah, I just wondered about the girls' bathroom.
Right.
You know, having a female over there at the elementary school.
I think she has someone ready to recommend, but it hadn't been posted long enough, so we'll do that. So.
All right.
Any other questions or comments? Any media questions pertaining to the agenda items for this afternoon's board meeting? All right, we will now like to recommend for us to go into executive session. Vote to go into executive session for a formal hearing. Can I get a move?
Move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That vote is carried unanimously. After this executive session, there will be no other items on the agenda, and we will adjourn the meeting. We appreciate your attendance and wish you all a wonderful afternoon.